In this video, we're going to show you how to use SketchUp to create a model that you can then export for 3D printing. The first thing you need to do is get SketchUp. Search for SketchUp and then click on the Download SketchUp link. This will take you to a page where you need to register. SketchUp normally costs over $400, but we're going to use it for personal projects, and so then we can use it for free. We're going to follow the license, download SketchUp. After you've downloaded SketchUp, install it, and then you will see that it shows up in your SketchUp 2014 in your programs. And choose it and run it. Before you go past the splash screen, the first thing you need to do is choose a template. It's going to make your life a lot easier if you choose the millimeters. Everything that we're going to work with later uses millimeters, so make sure you choose a millimeter template. SketchUp starts in its default mode with a nice lady. We don't need her. We're just going to get rid of her. Going to select her and then hit the delete key and she'll be gone. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make ourselves a test cube for printing. What we want is a cube that is 40 millimeters on each of its 3 axes, so then we can print it and make sure we actually get a 40 millimeter cube out of our printer. So we're going to select the rectangle tool and then click. Now you can click and draw it, and you'll notice in the bottom right there's a dimensions screen, but getting exactly 40 millimeters here is going to be a little tricky, so we're going to do things a little differently. Just going to hit undo, edit, undo. Oh, no, you don't want to. Edit, undo rectangle, and then select, and then hit delete key, and goodbye. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to scroll in a bit so that we can see our 40 millimeter cube. What I'm doing is I'm using my mouse wheel to just scroll in. Now I'm going to use the rectangle tool again. Now this time, when I just going to click and release, and then you'll see down here it says select opposite corner or enter value. And over here we've got dimensions. You don't have to click on it or anything. Just type 40 mm, comma, space, 40 mm, enter. And then it makes us a cube. Looks like we zoomed in a little too far. So now we're going to zoom. Oh, what's going on here? Alright, this is the zoom to the edge of our thing. So then we're going to draw it around here, maybe zoom it out a little bit, rotate it a bit more, grab the hand, bring it down here. Alright, so now we have 40 millimeters. If we want to check if it's 40 millimeters, use the dimensions tool and just click on 2 things. Oh, yeah, 40 millimeters that way, and 40 millimeters that way. There we go. So we got 40 millimeters in our X and Y direction, and now we need to get 40 millimeters in the Z direction. To get the Z, we use the push-pull tool. And so here, we click on it, click once on our face, and again, we can enter the value. And so we want to say 40 mm, and it appeared in the lower right there. And we hit enter, and boom, there's our cube, 40, 40, 40. And let's use our dimension tool to make sure that it is actually 40. Oh, that's the wrong dimension we want. This dimension. There we go, 40, 40, 40. And so let's zoom out a bit, and there we go. So now we have a cube. Let's save this. File, save as. I'm going to make a test cube. Just put it, test cube. Test cube 40 mm. Alright, so now we have a SketchUp model. Now it's just got an SKP extension. This, we can't print this. What we need to do is we need to export it as, okay, go away. We need to export it as an STL file. Now by default, SketchUp does not come with the ability to export STL files. So what we need to do is we need to install an extension. So we go into this window, and you'll see there's the extension warehouse. So we click on that, and that should open up a new window that brings us to the extension warehouse. And here it is. Now, there's a lot of stuff in here. You can have all kinds of extensions, and I'll tell you, I don't know what any of them do, except for one, the one that I'm looking for. Okay, so we've got our extension warehouse window, and the easiest way to find it is to just search for STL. Here it is, the second one, the Sketchup STL. You select that. Now because I already have it installed, mine says uninstall, but you click install here if you don't have it. Then it'll download it and install it. It might not work the first time, so try it a second time. It's not entirely that reliable. And if it prompts you to save it, go ahead and save it, and then from within SketchUp you can go into Window, Preferences, Extensions, and Install Extension, and then you can select where you saved it. I can't remember now which way I had to do it, but I know that you might have to do it one of those two ways, either directly or save it and then click Install. In any event, we already have it installed here, and when it does appear, you'll see File, Export STL. So that's the next step. Select Export STL, and you have a choice: export selected geometry only, or export everything. And we're going to export the whole thing. It doesn't export these dimensions, just the cube itself. So let's export it. Got our test cube STL. It names it the same, just a different extension. Let's click Save. And then, what do we do now? Well, then we have to slice it so that we can print it. So let's open up Slicer and add it. My documents. There it is. Test cube 40 millimeters. Okay, and then if you click View, that's not, there we go. Yeah, zoom out using your mouse wheel. You can see there's your 40 millimeter cube. And if you look down here, under size, you'll see 40 by 40 by 40. That's it for this video. That's how you get a model from SketchUp into STL format so that you can import it into Slicer.